What's up, YouTube family? It is Kim Hill checking in with you at Next of Kim. Thank you so much. The followers are starting to grow and it's feeling so great. I did not do what I said I was going to do last week and go to Kim Hill and let people know I'm over here, but I really am going to spend this week spending some time on YouTube but anyway, I'm happy with who we have. Like, this is popping and fly. I'm gonna start a little exclusive YouTube series called Kim's True Hollywood Stories. And it's gonna give you some insight into how some of my favorite pieces of music or creative works, I also, I'm an artist, I do multimedia woodwork and design, came to be. So, on Behind the Front, which was the Black Eyed Peas' first album, there's a ghost track. And for those of you that don't know what a ghost track is, it is after the listed tracks that are on the liner notes are done, like maybe a minute and a half after the last track, or maybe not even that amount of time. There's a track that like lives in the distance that's not on the track listing. It's like a bonus track, but they call it a ghost track. And I don't know how many people have CDs now, so that's what happens when you buy albums and they're on a CD. And so it was the Peas album was done. We were touring. It might have been, 8 months to a year into Behind the Front, being out in the marketplace. And I had it in my car in my little CD changer and it just played. And I hear this song. Next time I do this, I'll have some music. Anyway, I hear this song with this guitar riff and it's this instrumental, beautiful. It was almost like this guitar was crying. It was so sad, but it was so beautiful. And I immediately started singing this melody, which ended up being, like wasn't quite sure where it was gonna go. To you, babe. Till and I just kind of playing around with this melody and so the next time I saw Will, or I might have even called him and I was like, yo, what's this, on this, and he's like, it's a ghost track, dummy. It's been on the album, ouch, for, I was like, I want to write to that. I want to build off that. And he said that it was his uncle that played guitar. And he was like, yeah. At that time, I was working on my album, which was going to come out through Will's production company on Interscope. And so, sure enough, within, maybe a week or so, Will presented me with this track, which is on Sugar Hill, called Lost My Mind. It became Lost My Mind, but at the time, and I heard it and I was like, oh my God, it was just so beautiful and so amazing. And so I wrote this record called Lost My Mind about the hiccups and the trials that it takes to get to the person that you really, really love. And you're damn near driven crazy in the process, but you get to that person and you're like, dang, I lost my mind on the way to you, right? So anyway, I get to the studio to record the song. Will had a studio in like Echo Park, Silver Lake, called the Stucha. So the studio, the Stucha. And we went there, and when I got there, there were like ambulances and, I was like, what's going on? He's like, oh, it was a terrible car accident. And out of one of the windows, you could kind of see just like the backside of all of this chaos. So we start recording the song, and then more ambulances, and then more like helicopters. And it was like all this stuff. And I laid down, because my process is I do what's called a rough lead vocal to just give the song structure. Then I lay all my backgrounds down and I layer them and I put all the harmonies on it, so that when I sing my lead track, I'm like singing with myself, or as if I was singing on stage, and you have that cushion, because to me, that's how I find my lead voice, is through that process. So I got pretty much everything down, and when it was time to sing the lead, the coroner's truck was there, and whoever was in one of the two cars did not make it. And so we stopped for a second, like turned everything off, because it jacked me up. And I just was like, that's somebody's like, somebody was supposed to come home that night and they didn't make it. And as often as I'd heard about people dying or, crashes on the news, it was the first time I'd actually seen like a body with like the blanket and the gurney, and the corners, like it was so real. And so by the time I actually laid the lead track down, it was emotional, because I was like, God, if the only thing I have to complain about is the love or the lack of love, or how long it took for me to get this love, or I'm so fortunate and so blessed. And there's like a Mariah Carey, I had to work to get her dog note that's on there, it should be the last pass of Lost My Mind. And I got it and I nailed it. And when we went to mix, for whatever reason, that particular track, that little whistle note got left out. But anyways, that's my story behind Lost My Mind. It is honestly one of my favorite songs I've ever written. And it's so beautiful and so sad. And part of it is because when I was actually laying down the vocals, there was like real life, straight up like death outside of the door, and we took a beat and we kind of sat in that and laid it down. So that's a Kim True Hollywood story on the process of Lost My Mind. It went from a ghost track to a real track. And there you go. I hope you listen to it and you love it. It's on Bandcamp, and it's up on YouTube. There's people that have put up music over the years. I never asked them to take it down, and I won't now. I ain't really bugging like that. Yeah. And also, I've put out these, if you've seen the doc, the Times doc, and I do the whole like, nope, just kind of an homage to celebrating boundaries. And it's no diss to anybody, because everybody, I'm also like down with the year of yes. But the power of no is really, really positive and propelling. And then you just make a hood by being like, no. So it's on sale at nextofkimbeauty.com. And there you go. I love you all. I promise you next week, I'm going to get into multiple streams of income and real estate. I've been hearing from a lot of you that want to know how to get into the real estate market. And so because we all live in different states and sometimes different countries, there's a little bit of information I'm waiting for federal grants that I want to make sure that I have right before I share them with you. So that you have some options to possibly help you get into, not possibly, if you want to get in a house, you get in a house. You want to own something, you can own something. What I'll be speaking to is you being flexible to what that actually looks like and where that location is. And hence, you can have keys to your own place. So if you already have a place, you can get like a multifamily or multi-use, which is like commercial on the bottom and, residential on the top. So anyway, that's how we're going to do it over here. I love y'all. This is Next of Kim, and I'm Kim Hill, and I love you, and I thank you, and